This is 7 National News, and in our top story, the UAE President, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, has sent congratulations to their Majesties, the kings, presidents, emirs and leaders of Arab and Islamic countries on the occasion of the Al-Hijri New Year. His Highness Sheikh Khalifa wished them good health and happiness, and for their people, more progress and prosperity, as well as pride and greatness for Arab and Islamic nations. The UAE Vice President and Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and His Highness General Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, also sent similar messages of congratulations. The UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, received the Emir of Qatar, His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, and his accompanying delegation at Zabal Palace on Wednesday. Welcoming the Emir, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed emphasised the deep relations between the UAE and Qatar, as well as the social and cultural bonds that link the two countries. During the meeting, the two leaders reviewed bilateral relations and ways of boosting them in various fields and at all levels for the mutual interest of both people. The meeting was also attended by Dubai's Crown Prince, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Dubai's Deputy Ruler and Minister of Finance, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and the Deputy Ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Maktoum bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, along with a number of sheikhs, ministers, dignitaries and senior officials. The UAE has been chosen as one of the best countries in the world for foreigners. That's according to the latest HSBC Expat Explorer survey for 2013. The survey ranked the UAE as the 9th best country overall for people choosing to move and live abroad, which was based on expats' attitudes towards their host countries for financial incentives, quality of life and ease of raising children. The UAE landed the 16th spot in terms of economics and scored the 26th place in work-life balance, working environment, social life, entertainment and local transport, among others. The country is also the 13th best country for raising children abroad. 73% of UAE respondents said that the financial status of their households has improved since they moved overseas, outpacing the global average of 59%. And about 70% said they believe they make more money in the country than they do back home, while 72% of the expats stated that the UAE is a safer place to raise children than their home countries. Although Breast Cancer Awareness Month ends today, efforts continue across the UAE in order to ensure early detection of the disease. Among these is the Sharjah Breast Centre that was established back in May this year. According to experts, early detection is the primary factor in saving lives, and it improves the chances of a cure by 98%. In Abu Dhabi, for example, the percentage of late breast cancer detection has dropped from 65% back in 2007 to 16% in 2012, that's according to the Health Authority of Abu Dhabi. In Sharjah, the Sharjah Breast Centre was established inside the University Hospital of Sharjah to provide the necessary support for breast cancer patients all year round, with every Sunday dedicated to screening.
Once they come to our clinic, we see them, we examine them, and then if they need to, we go ahead and do on the same day whatever needs to be radiology, whether it's ultrasound or mammogram. And in addition to that, so they don't have to go back and forth, they can have their biopsy done on the same day. Patients who wait too long to have their first child, like after age of 35, patients, as you said, don't do any breastfeedings, or even they don't have any children or unmarried. So these are all high-risk patients who are on birth control pills for over 4 years or hormonal treatments. And as I mentioned, patients who are obese, take alcohol or smoking, all of these are high-risk patients that they need to decrease with what I mentioned.
While breast cancer is most common in women, it can also occur in men. Dr. Tabara says it is essential to remove fear and myths. A family history of breast cancer puts one at high risk, but there are other factors at play.
Breastfeeding for women who have children is very, very important and protective from breast cancer. And breastfeeding for more than 6 months is very important. So this is a protective area that women need to emphasize on. In addition to that, patients who have, as you said, high risk of cancer or genetics, they need to come forward. There are now genetic tests that we can do on these patients and help them out with these advices.
It's all about the F1 this weekend, and to celebrate an emphatic win of the Formula One Drivers and Constructors World Championships at the F1 Airtel Indian Grand Prix, the Infinity Red Bull racing team celebrated in style at one of the most recognised locations on Earth, the Burj Al Arab. Perched 210 metres above the sea, Infinity Red Bull Racing's F1 car, usually reserved for on-track use, became the first to ever run atop the Burj Al Arab helipad in a spectacular show of burning rubber and tyre smoke. Seconds after completing donuts in the car, David Coulthard stepped out of the cockpit, stating that that was a lot of fun, adding that he likes getting involved with anything that pushes boundaries. Her Excellency Leila Mohammed Suhail, the CEO of Dubai Festivals and Retail Establishment, commented, "From Tiger Woods hitting golf balls from a helipad to Andre Agassi and Roger Federer playing tennis on it, images of the Burj Al Arab have gone around the world, increasing the awareness of Dubai and evoking a desire to visit." Piers Schreiber, a spokesperson for the Jumeirah Group, said that the Burj Al Arab has hosted many extraordinary events on its helipad, but none as exhilarating as a Formula One car in full spin. Not only is the hotel the most photographed and most talked about in the world, but it will soon class as having the most filmed helipad as well.
So when the team first told me they had this idea to put the car on top of the helipad at the Burj Al Arab, then of course I thought, why not? That's fantastic. That's going to give us some iconic shots. And I like getting involved in anything that's sort of pushing the boundaries, and that's very much part of what Red Bull stand for. So we had some test runs, of course, to make sure that we could control the car within this tight area, and in the end, it's absolutely fine.
And finally, looking to other news now, the Oscars of the perfume industry were awarded last night at the Conrad Hotel here in Dubai. The Fragrance Foundation Arabia hosted its annual Fifi Awards, where 14 categories were handed to local and international perfumes. A jury panel made up of regional and international fragrance experts determined the winners of 8 categories for Arab and international fragrances within the Fragrance of the Year Awards. Meanwhile, the Retailer of the Year Awards and My Favourite Perfume of the Year Awards were elected through consumer online voting. Some of this year's winners included Noble Leather by Yves Saint Laurent for the Arabian Prestige Male Award, Narciso Rodriguez, who won the Arabian Prestige Female Award, while Brit Rhythm by Burberry won the International Prestige Male Award, and Elie Saab Le Parfum by Elie Saab won the award for International Prestige Female.
The main idea is about appreciation, the fragrances and the fragrance brands across the region, as well as international, as well as regional brands. The main idea is about improving the fragrance as a category for the consumers, not only consumers, but for the manufacturers. You know how big industry we have in fragrance in the Middle East, and as well as the biggest participation we get from the international brands as well. I think the participation gives a lot of flair, a lot of growth to the industry itself. You must have seen in the last 4 or 5 years how the fragrances have grown in terms of their marketing, in terms of their quality. So everything, I think, boils down to the consumers, that they are getting the best fragrances being made for them.
We judge on personality, we judge on packaging, we judge on the fragrance itself, how does it make you feel. We judge on how much you remember the fragrance if you smell it. We also judge on the bottle itself. the Arabian fragrances now is really leading the way for the international brands. And the international brands like Saint Laurent, like Lancôme, like all of these big brands are adopting the Arabian fragrances and the Arabian notes and putting them in their new bottles. So this is something that we are very proud of.